I wanted to make this video to show you how to actually make money with AI. Last month, my AI agency, Gym Members Now, was valued at $5,448,000, and it has generated $5,736,031 in profit from 2021 up until 2024, and we're still cranking. But my agency is now worth over $5 million through selling AI agents or basic automated flows. Is through leveraging a new system of AI services that work complementary to each other. And by doing it this way, I generate my clients atypical results, I charge more, I retain them a lot longer, and I close at a much higher rate because there's no one else in the marketplace offering it in the sequential order that I offer it in. And in this video, I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm gonna show you the exact system, live examples of it with clients active right now, leveraging this exact system. And then I'm also going to show you how to sell this exact same AI system and break it down so that you can just copy me. Let me tell you why I'm doing this though. So my agency is worth $5.4 million. If I can help 3 to 4 other people do what I've done in the same market or even in different markets, we can roll our companies up into a portfolio and sell for 2 to 3 times more than what we would get independently selling. So there's a huge opportunity for both of us if that's what you're trying to do. So let's jump into it. So right here, what you're looking at is the valuation that I had done by Value Buddy. It's a company that evaluates companies. You can look them up. They're very legit. I paid a decent amount of money for this. And what you can see here is what they gave the fair market value. And then if I scroll down here, I'll be able to show you what we did during these years. So you can see here the SDE, that's seller discretionary earning. What that means is that's what the business made in profit, including what the owner was paid. And you can see here in 2021, it was 1.3, 2022, 1.6, 2023, 1.5, and then 2024, 1.2. And as of right now, we're currently at around 561K for this year. And we're doing over $200,000 a month consistently with very good margins. And then you can see here, over 6.5 million. And then we switched processors. You can see this was last year, and then this is the current year to show you that this is legit. And I can switch this, just do the last 90 days, and you can see that it automatically changes. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because number one, I've started doing some research to see what other people are doing and showing people. And I've noticed it doesn't seem like a lot of people that actually show people how to grow agencies. It doesn't seem like they actually have them or do it. So this is my website. You can see here, this is literally hundreds of testimonials from clients that I've worked with, implementing the exact system that I'm gonna be going over and breaking down for you and showing you that have benefited from using it and that have used it. And then if I go over here to Google, you can type in Gym Members Now. This is my website. This is where we get reviews. You can even see we got some really good reviews just recently. Really cool to see. But again, you can see same thing, tons of reviews. This is a legitimate business that provides legitimate services to local business owners and their AI-based services. Okay, so now that I've gone through that with you and we're done with that, and you know that I actually have the proof to back up what I'm about to show you, I'm gonna break down for you guys the services that I offer. And then from there, I'm gonna be showing you guys what this looks like. But before I kind of do that, one thing I wanna start with is this quote from Aristotle. And what he said was, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. A lot of people are talking about AI agents, this and that's great, but just remember, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, because I'm gonna break down for you a bunch of different cool things that AI agents can do and automations can do and services that people can provide and try and sell to local businesses. But if you put them together in the proper way, in the proper structure, I've already gone through the trial and error figuring that out, which I'm gonna show you, you can really provide local businesses with something that's extremely valuable and extremely impactful on their business, which will allow you to build a very successful business that you could potentially roll up with me and sell for multiple millions of dollars. So the first thing is AI re-engaging to old leads. And like I said, I'm gonna show you guys live examples of this with clients and the software that I use to provide all of these services. But this is the first thing. And it's very, very simple. A lot of local businesses and a lot of businesses, they have a ton of leads and they don't have a good process to re-engage these leads that are in their system. So let's say, for example, if you went to a gym and you tried them out for a 7-day pass, let's say they were doing a 7-day promotion, you went in there, you did a trial, and you didn't actually end up becoming a member. You ended up becoming a member at another gym. And let's say it was about a year ago since you did that 7-day trial and you're at this other gym. You're kind of getting sick of that other gym, and then you get a text from that gym that had the 7-day trial saying, hey, we have a great promotion going for men just like you, and you can get started with us for a month free, right? If you receive that text, do you think you'd be likely to maybe go check it out, especially if you were maybe not super happy with the gym you were at? Of course, because it's an incredible offer and you got back in front of them. So that's exactly what this service is. It's very, very straightforward, and all we're doing is re-engaging leads within their database because they don't do a good job of it. So it's very, very straightforward. And this is something that you can charge decent money for. But again, we're talking about this. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which we're going to get into. So that's the first thing that you can offer. And before I kind of break this all down, again, you're just taking their database within the CRM, you're reaching out to them, getting people that are interested to then book an appointment and come in so that you can turn them into a customer. That service-based business, that local business can turn them into a customer. And so what I'm showing you here, this is the software that we use to provide all these services. And you can see here, this was 1 week where we were able to generate, I honestly don't know how many appointments this is, I don't want to count them, but we were able to generate this gym owner that we work with, I think it was over like 70 appointments in a week. For some reason, my eye's itching. But we were able to generate like 70 appointments in 1 week. And if you look at the next week, it wasn't as much, but it was a lot. And the best part about this is that you're not having to spend money on ads. So you're able to generate a ton of sales opportunities without investing any money into marketing for that customer, which is a huge, huge benefit when you're in a world where everyone is screaming, run paid ads, spend money on marketing. With this, we're going to them and saying, you've got a hot database of leads you haven't done anything with, give it to me and let me engage it with AI and then nurture these leads through the door for you without having to spend any money on ads. I'm going to be able to get you potentially hundreds of appointments like we did in this example here, literally over 100 appointments in 2 weeks, right? So that's the first thing. Okay, and that's what you want to start with. As far as this sequential system is concerned, you want to start with that because a lot of these businesses, they have that within their database and they haven't done anything with it. So do you think it makes sense to start running ads for them, generating cold leads, or do you think it makes sense to start with their database of warm leads that they haven't re-engaged, that might just need a text to come back in where you don't have to spend any money on ads? Of course it's going to be this, but a lot of people neglect this and do not do this. Okay, the second thing is AI reviews and referrals. So all we're doing with this is re-engaging active customers of these local businesses and asking them for reviews. That's it. But what we're doing that's different from other companies that provide this service as a standalone service is we're leveraging an offer, a powerful offer to get a really high response rate when we're asking people for reviews. So instead of reaching out to someone and saying, hey, hope you've enjoyed, working out at our gym, would you mind leaving us a review? We're going to say, if you'd like a chance to win a membership for free for the year, just let us know how your experience has been. We'd really value your feedback. By doing that, we get over 200% more people responding and obviously saying positive things. And then from the people that say positive things, we ask them to leave a review. The people that leave reviews, we then ask them if they'd like to bring friends and family in with another powerful offer. And then we tie it back to that initial offer where they have a chance to win a membership for free and say, anyone you bring in that comes from you, we'll put your name into that raffle for a chance to win that free membership again, so that you have a higher opportunity to actually win that. And then we allow them to bring friends and family in on a trial. So by doing this, we're able to generate tons of reviews on Google for the customer and tons of referrals, which are free leads. Once again, not having to spend money on advertising. And now again, if you think about this, a lot of people out there in the marketplace are screaming and shouting basic AI agents, simple workflows, but they're not stacking these things in a system sequentially where it produces a really great result for the customer, which in turn allows you to retain them, charge a lot of money, and get them telling their friends about you so that you're able to grow through word of mouth, not paid ads. Okay, so let me show you an example of what this looks like within the same software. And you can see for this specific gym, we were able to get, we've only been working with them for 48 days now. We've been able to get 76 positive responses from the people we've reached out to. We have thousands of other people we haven't yet reached out to. It's just you want a slow trickle in when it comes to getting reviews. You don't want to get a major influx of reviews. I'm sure you've probably seen a Google business page before and you see just a bunch of reviews all at once and then none for multiple months. It's a subconscious red flag that gets raised. So you don't want that, and Google doesn't like that either when it comes to ranking. But nonetheless, you can see they had 76 positive responses. They had 24 people leave reviews, but then really most importantly, they had 7 people become referrals without them having to spend any money in advertising. Then you can see here negative response. For any of the people that say they had a bad experience when we do initially ask them for their feedback, we don't ask them for a review, right? So we're only generating 5-star reviews by doing this, sometimes 4 stars, but mainly 5-star, because anyone that says a neutral or negative response in that initial message, we just push them to a feedback form where they can leave their feedback, okay? So that is the second thing that we offer. And again, this is very, very simple, very easy to provide. It's literally automated. But first thing we're doing is we're reaching out to them, asking for their feedback, right? If they have positive feedback from there, we're asking for a review. And then after they leave a review, we're asking if they'd like to bring friends and family in, letting them know that they have something to gain and so does their friend or family member. And by doing that, we're generating free leads. The third thing you can do is website lead nurturing, which is very simple. All it is when people go to a website, let's say, for example, I go to, let's just look up gym near me, right? So if I go to Off the Grid Fitness, let's see, they're gonna have a form on their website, right? Oh, they really need help. It doesn't even look like they have a forum. This is really bad. This is definitely somebody that you could help if you're trying to literally just take my process. But you can see here, first name, last name, email, phone number. So what happens from here is you submit your information, and now that lead needs to be followed up with, right? A lot of these local businesses do not have a good process to follow up with leads. And Harvard did a study back in 2018, and what they found was if you're not following up with leads within 5 minutes, the chances of getting them through your door or converting them into a customer can drop over 400%. And this was in 2018. Look the study up, it's there. There's some other really cool data when it comes to speed to lead, best times to contact leads to get the highest answer rate and response rate. But because of that, you can easily test out these local businesses like this one, and I guarantee you they wouldn't get back to me until middle of the day tomorrow, maybe early morning. But still, when I have a system like this, they're gonna get followed up with immediately, and they're gonna get booked in for an appointment immediately, because if you're not, they're gonna go somewhere else, and the person that gets back to them first is probably gonna win. So the fifth thing is paid ads with AI lead nurturing. And the reason why I'm saying 3 and 5 are somewhat similar is because they are. When you're running paid ads, you're sending traffic to a website. So that's all you're doing, is you're putting an offer out there, capturing people's interest, funneling that traffic to a website where they can then submit their information like we showed you on this really poorly built landing page. But now, if I go over here, what you're gonna see is a landing page that we built, and you're gonna see ads that we're running for a customer. So if I were to see one of these ads and then click on it, I'm gonna be taken to this landing page or a website. And from here, I would fill out my information. Once I click this reserve spot button, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna receive a text from my system, okay? And here's what this looks like. So if I go all the way up here to the top, you can see, hey, Anytime Fitness, can't wait to meet you on Friday, January 24th at 11 a.m. Okay, because in this example, after this guy submitted his information, he was taken to a calendar page to schedule an appointment, just like I'm sure you guys have probably gone through before. And he decided to book an appointment. So he received that text confirming that appointment right away. If he hadn't booked an appointment, if he had bounced, let's say he submitted his information and then exited out of the page, he would have still received a text right away saying, hey, I saw you I saw you showed interest for taking advantage of our limited time promotion. When can you come in to claim it? We're running out, right? So that's what they would have received. But then you can see here, we're working the lead, we're following up with them. This is a pretty long conversation actually, because they weren't actually able to show up to their appointment, but we're doing this all done for the customer without them having to do any of it on their own, without them having to have their staff do it. And because of that, it's a massive advantage because they're not gonna follow up with their leads fast. They're just not. Test out a gym, test out a chiropractor, test out a dentist, test them all out. Submit your information, see how long it takes them to get back to you. Test out an HVAC company, right? It's probably gonna be a little bit, especially if you opt in later at night. But because we're doing this for them and we're doing it right away, they don't have to worry about it. And the money they're investing into marketing is gonna generate a massive return compared to what they would get otherwise. So you can see here, the person said they showed up, right? So they showed up and the client didn't have to do anything to make that happen. So this is extremely powerful. But more important, before I get to step 4, is that if we just look at the flow of this and how this all works together, instead of just selling one of these things independently, we're actually selling them all collectively, but in the proper order. So instead of just saying, hey, we're gonna re-engage old leads, we're gonna get you reviews, we're gonna get you referrals, we're gonna run ads, we're gonna follow up with your leads, we're gonna do that all at once, we're saying no. The smartest and most efficient thing to do would be to re-engage your old leads before we spend money in advertising, because we're gonna be able to see, number one, how do you guys do at converting the promotion that we're running to the old list? But number 2, knowing you guys are good at closing, right? Wink, wink. A lot of these local business owners claim to be great at closing. We're gonna tell them, we're gonna take that money that you collect, the capital you generate from these sales, where we're not spending any money in marketing, and then we're gonna reinvest that money into paid ads, okay? But we're not gonna do that until we've started to generate you reviews and referrals. Because when people see ads, 70 to 80% of people will actually reference Google to see what other people are saying. And this is according to a bunch of different studies. So because of that, what you want is to have a nice warmed up Google My Business storefront that looks good. Because if you don't, the money you're investing into your marketing will only generate a fraction of what you could have generated if you had done this. Okay, so now the sequential order is starting to make sense, right? We're gonna reach out to the old leads without spending any money. We're gonna get reviews going before we start investing money into ads, because people will be looking that business up when they see their ads. And by doing that, by the time we get to the ads, that client's gonna have generated capital without investing any money into ads. And now their ads are gonna perform better than they ever did before if they had worked with another company, because they have a more validated Google My Business page than they've ever had. And the other benefit that I haven't discussed when it comes to getting reviews is, if a Google business page is getting a lot of positive reviews frequently, it increases their organic SEO. And all that stands for is search engine optimization. And what that means is, if you looked up on Google gym near me, and let's say you owned a gym in your area, your gym is gonna rank higher organically for that search term and other search terms like it, because you're getting more positive engagement on your Google My Business page. Pretty straightforward, but because of that, again, people, the money that these clients are gonna invest into their ads are gonna generate a significant increase compared to what they would have otherwise. So it's very, very important that you do it in this order, because it crushes people when you're trying to sell them, because no one else does it like this. And it's very, very difficult for a prospect, a local business owner, to say no to this system, because no one's doing it. It's so effective, and it's something they've never heard before. And it's really taken me up to 5 years to actually kind of get this system dialed in, how to communicate it properly. But if you do it, it's pretty crazy. And then the little kind of cherry on top, a very, very new one, which very few people are doing, is an AI agent to answer calls. And so the way we do it is, we have it where it answers the phone. We allow the phone to ring for 10 seconds, and then it picks the phone up to book in customers for consultations or tours, or to claim an offer that gym is promoting. And so I'll show you guys an example of what this looks like. The craziest thing about this is, when we started connecting this to gyms, we found some pretty crazy results. And what we found is this: this is my backend dashboard for a client of mine when it comes to the AI agent. And what you can see here is this is December 18th to January 17th. Okay. So I'm going to apply this, and then it's going to update their numbers. And what it's going to show us is this. So if you see here where it says new member, no answer, new member answered, all that means is out of 90 calls that they had from potential new members, so not customers, but people that were not customers, people that were wanting to become customers, the gym, before we connected the AI, only answered 8 out of 90. So let that sink in. In 30 days, they had 90 calls from people that were not customers looking to become customers, and their staff only answered 8. Right? So if you extrapolate that out over the course of a year, you're looking at almost 1,000 calls where the staff could be missing 800, almost 900 calls. That's insane. And so the solution we're providing is we guarantee 100% of your calls get answered, and that our AI will book between 20 to 30% of those calls. So again, if you extrapolate that out, you're looking at getting an additional 200 to 400 calls a year with this AI, and it's not gonna require them to do anything additional to what they're already doing. And the coolest thing about this is it literally works 24/7. So we have it's booked appointments literally at 3 a.m. So what I'm gonna show you here is an actual example of it booking an appointment, okay? So if I go over to the activities, go to calls, this is where you can see just appointments getting booked from the AI agent for my clients. So you can see here it's booking hundreds of appointments 24/7 without the staff or me having to do anything, which is obviously amazing and making a lot of money doing it with really not doing much. So if I go over here and go to filter, and then I go to tags and type in AI, it's gonna tag the calls that the AI handled. And you can see here is an example of a call where we were actually able to book an appointment. And this was literally just today.
This is Fitbot, your AI receptionist. While our team is busy, I'm here to answer any questions and schedule your free consultation. How can I help you today?
I want to activate my free 7-day.
Great. To get started, could I have your first?
Okay, so now it's gonna get the contact's information, it's gonna get their phone number, and then it's gonna schedule them in for that consultation without the staff having to lift a finger to do it. So by providing all of these services, right, we're able to create a system that works very, very well together, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And now if I zoom out, right, to look at this, you can see that I've put all of these things together that we just went over. And we have sales coaching here, which is, it's a side thing. You can offer this. It's something that we do provide, not for all of our clients, but it's something that we do provide because it just helps us with this whole process, right? We're looking at generating leads, booking appointments, getting people to show up, and then converting those appointments. So we're helping with the whole gambit. If you don't help with that, it's no big deal. I didn't for the first 3 years and made tons of money. So it's not something you have to do, but I included it in here. And the most important thing here again is you can sell these services as standalone services, but you're not gonna make near as much money as you could. And more importantly, you're not gonna have a legitimate business. It's kind of funny how a lot of people seem to be talking about you can make money with an AI agent, you can make money with these simple automations. You can make some money, a couple $1,000 or a couple $100, but you can't build a reoccurring based business where people keep paying you month over month over month. And if they do, and you're just providing one, you don't have much of a competitive edge, right? If you're helping a customer, let's say you have an AI answering service and you're providing that customer with it. And then I come in and I say, I can do that. I can re-engage your old leads for you. I can generate your reviews and referrals for you without you or your team having to do it at all or lift a finger, call, text, or email anyone. I'll nurture all your website leads for you where you guys don't have to do it. I'll run your ads for you and follow up with those leads for you that would generate, and I'll consult you and your team on how to actually convert the people we're bringing to your door, right? Who do you think they're gonna go with? Do you think they're going to keep paying that person that was providing a AI agent that answered calls? No, they're not. If I get my hands on them, it's a done deal, right? So that's why I've been able to grow my business so quickly and make it be worth so much, is because I have people that keep paying me that have been paying me for literally over 5 years for the same services. And I've added on new services as AI has come out and automations have improved. But it's not that to think you can just do it with a couple simple automations or a couple AI agents is pretty funny, right? I think people that are promoting something like that don't actually know what it takes or know what needs to be done to actually get local businesses to justify paying you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of multiple years, but I do. And this is exactly what it takes. So if this is something that you're serious about doing and something that you really want to do and take it to the next level, I'd love to talk with you about how I could help you to do that. Because like I said, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm looking to eventually sell my business down the line. And I spoke with a broker and he pretty much told me, look, if you can roll this thing up into a portfolio with multiple other agency owners, you could get, instead of a 4x multiple, an 8 to a 12, potentially even a 15x multiple, right? And by doing that, my business would go from being worth $5 million to 10 to 15, which is a massive difference for doing no additional work other than having someone else that does the same thing and has already done the work. So if that's something that you think you'd be interested in talking about, I'd love to speak with you. If not, I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you got value from it. Look forward to seeing you soon.